Let's talk about Schnauzer's story. In agriculture and animal husbandry, in the long years before mechanization, farmers and herders, we've been working hard to breed a variety of dogs, come as a helper. Different regions have different needs. Therefore, different varieties have also been produced. Schnauzer. This ancient breed was born in Bavaria, Germany. Over 600 years of breeding, from rat trappers to all-round farm dogs. Outstanding working ability. He was also recruited by the military police. Become an all-round dog breed for guard communication and drug rescue. His upright character. It even became a symbol of the Germans. Schnauzer English nameskulls. Derived from a German word. It means big mustache. And because of his haystack-like beard, and the Schnauzer is a family. There are 3 types of giant standard and mini. Standard Schnauzer has the oldest history. The other 2 types are also bred on the basis of the standard type. The history of the standard Schnauzer. It can be traced back to the 14th and 15th centuries. His ancestors. It is considered a dogs known as smoothie dogs developed. The smoothie dog originated in Fortenberg, Germany, and the Bavarian region. This is an ancient swamp hound, bred dog breeding. Is against rodents and other experts in small animals. It was originally used to hunt rats in warehouse dwellings. Later, because of his outstanding ability, it is widely used for animal husbandry, guarding, and hunting. And follow the caravan. As a guard dog to protect carriages and cargo. Become an excellent multi-purpose working dog. Smoothies are not Dobermans. The Doberman was born in the 19th century. It was bred by Louis Doberman. It's a large dog. The smoothie dog is a medium-sized short-haired dog. To adapt to the cold climate of Germany in winter and the rough environment of the farm, the breeders take these smoothie dogs and the gray wolf Spence and black poodle mix. Produce this coarser but better dog. This is the origin of the standard Schnauzer. But it wasn't called a Schnauzer at the time. Before 1879, it's been called the wire-haired pinscher, steel hyena. The original Schnauzer. It is also widely used for hunting rats on farms, guarding, and grazing. They were even used to pulling carts and accompanying kids. With the outbreak of the First World War, these outstanding farm-working dogs were conscripted into the military, became a German military dog responsible for guarding rescue communications, but also because of his upright character, caused a large number of Schnauzers to die on the battlefield. This dog breed was nearly extinct as a result. After the war, a part of Schnauzer returns to farm life. Europe in the 1819th century, just as the fruits of the Industrial Revolution were infiltrating. Increase in productivity. It also created better living conditions. The population exploded, and as a result, rats were seriously infested. Schnauzer, who was originally a master mouse catcher, it comes in handy again at this point. However, due to the standard Schnauzer as a medium-sized dog, still too big, rat traps are limited in size in confined spaces. So some farms started miniaturizing the Schnauzer. According to its genes, these Schnauzers were originally associated with monkey-headed terriers. Miniature poodle and Pomeranian mix got a mini Schnauzer weighing 6 to 7 kilograms. The official name of the hero is the Affenpinscher. It is a type native to southern Germany. Small dogs for significant other household and rat hunting. His bloodline joins. It also makes the mini Schnauzer's mousing ability more outstanding. Miniature Schnauzers are also known as wiggle Schnauzers. Its better mousetrap ability. It also gives the mice nowhere to hide. of the three types of Schnauzer. The giant Schnauzer originated on a farm in Stuttgart, and what drove it to grow was an animal, a cow. Due to Schnauzer's more versatile working ability, some ranchers began to breed it for cattle. However, due to its small size, cattle herding is very laborious. Its size also makes it difficult to form a sense of pressure on the cow. So some ranchers start large-scale breeding of Schnauzer. They used black Great Dane dogs, Flanders cattle dog, and German pointer dogs for crossbreeding. Successfully bred a giant Schnauzer. He was also perfectly qualified for the job of herding cattle. Giant Schnauzers became very popular. It is widely used as a guard dog, drug detection dogs, and rescue dogs. Like a German Shepherd, the most popular working dog in Germany. This dog is also known as Liesen Schnauzer. His steady and upright character. It also coincides with the image of the German police. In 1842, the word Schnauzer first appeared. It is used to describe the characteristics of this breed. At that time, its name was wire-haired pinscher. The word pinscher is also used to describe farming dogs. Therefore, the variety was also known as Rohr Pinscher Shag or Red and Finch. It means rat catcher. In 1879, in Hanover, Germany, at the Third German International Exhibition, for the first time, the steel-haired iguana was exhibited. A dog from Fortenberg won the championship due to its exaggerated and iconic bearded features, hence the name Schnauzer. So this is where the name Schnauzer comes from. Bullfighting originated in ancient Spain. Religious activities of slaughtering cattle. This is one in Spain. Thousands of years of tradition. According to historical records, Julius Caesar, who once ruled Spain, he is passionate about riding horses and bullfighting. And by the 13th century, during the reign of King Alfonso X of Spain, and began to turn this ritual into a bullfight. This activity also began to gain popularity among the people. Driving the bull with dog teasing aroused the anger of the bull. Dogs used for bullfighting and produced in this context. At the same time, 13th century England, there is also a popular sport of bullfighting. In this sport, a betting bull fights a pack of dogs. The audience is betting on the outcome. These are recreational dogs. The ancestor of today's English bulldog. He's a big, ferocious bulldog. The British used mastiffs to cross with bulldogs. You got this great bit. Dogs with very low pain. It has a short nose and an upturned nose. Helps to breathe on its own while biting a bull. Deep folds on the forehead and face. Can be used as a good blood trough to divert cow blood. A broad chest and shoulders increase stability. Stouting short legs are closer to the ground. Prevent being provoked by horns. This kind of fighting lasts until one party is injured and killed. The transformation and differentiation of the bulldog emerged in 1835. In England, dog fight. This rather brutal pastime is banned. So these pit bulls go underground. Become a gambler's bet on dog fights. In order to be faster and more flexible, gamblers mix these bulldogs with miniature hounds. Bulldog cross created a smaller and more agile fighter. This was the prototype of the modern bulldog. With the development of the times, this kind of underground dog fighting competition was also abandoned. Bulldogs are also beginning to face disappearance. So some enthusiasts started to reduce their aggression. Breeding bulldogs into gentle pet dogs. Make it. Become a family pet dog loved by children. This is today's English Bulldog, 1873. It was also the first year of the British Kennel Association. KC approved English Bulldog. English Bulldog. It is also considered an iconic dog breed in the UK, a symbol of the British spirit. When Yingdu was born, in order to better adapt to the family. Increasingly miniaturized body culture. Another, smaller, vertically-eared toy was also born. Bulldog. This is the ancestor of today's French bulldog. In the 18th century, the first industrial revolution was initiated in England. It's a huge revolution in the history of technology. It also changed the way humans produce. Invention of the steam engine textile. And machines replaced a lot of craftsmen. Nottingham, an important textile city in the UK. A large number of textile workers lost their jobs. Since the winds of the Industrial Revolution had not yet reached France, so they chose to cross the English Channel. Come to Calais, France. There were a lot of pit bulls in Nottingham back then. When these textile workers moved to France, bulldogs were also brought to France. This little bulldog, fully adapted to the new environment. They don't have a lot of space. Savvy bulldogs are also good at catching mice. In Europe, where rats were plagued, bulldogs are very popular, especially the favorite of some ladies, for smaller size and easier to carry. After crossing with pugs and some small farming dogs, formed the first French bulldog. In 1868, he began to appear on the streets of France. In 1889, the French Dew was first exhibited at the exhibition. Subsequent painter, celebrities, politicians, and wealthy business people came to love and began to pay attention to the cultivation of this bulldog. The French have a strong preference for this type of bulldog. Even put his French name, gave Fata as a nickname. Therefore, he is also known as the French Bulldog. In 1898, the French introduced the bulldog, brought across the ocean to America. In the same year, AKC admitted the French Bulldog and opened the registration of the French Fight. The size of the Magic Fight is slightly smaller than that of the average bulldog, but it is one of the most robust and agile. He is also an excellent guard dog with outstanding abilities. A quiet personality that dislikes barking. It is also more suitable for urban breeding. Therefore, the alert and agile French Bulldog. It's very popular all over the world. Stupid appearance. It has captured countless beautiful women and shit-shoveling officers, whether it is a French fight or a British fight. In fact, it is a kind of tough appearance. It's actually a cute ghost. In the United States, it's based on French combat. Boston Steel was also developed, cousins of this Magic Fight. The Bicken is also known as the Babe Bicken. The official name is the Curly Bicken. English name Beechin Fries. The word Beechin comes from Middle French. It means long-haired dog. It originally referred to a characteristic type of dog, not a single dog breed. Bicken dogs in a broad sense, including Maltese Tenerife, Bologna Dog, Havana Two-Liar Fluff, and the European Little Lion Dog Laukin, and Bicken as we know it. It's actually the Tenerife of the Bicken family. They are a kind of small dogs native to the Mediterranean coast. Their history. It can be traced back to more than 3,000 years ago. Their story. We have the oldest winning dog in Europe, Maltese dog speaking. In the Eastern Mediterranean more than 3,000 years ago, there's people living there. They are good at sailing and doing business. They are called Fijians. Fijian fleets crossed the Mediterranean Sea. The island of Malta in the heart of the Mediterranean. It became an important trading hub for Fijians. They came with the Fijians. There is also a white puppy. At first they served as guards for merchant shipping warehouses, responsible for catching mice. After several breeding, these puppies are gradually growing in Malta, develop into a unique dog breed. This is the original Maltese. Fijians in their heyday. Not only does it control the entire Mediterranean route, it also established many colonies along the coast. They're Maltese. Also in Spain, Portugal, widely distributed in Italy, North Africa, and other places. Around 300 AD, the Finnegas disappeared completely from the stage of history, but their white puppies are shining brightly in Europe. After they entered Europe, become a pet of the upper class such as the princes and nobles of various countries. In the ruins of ancient Rome, Greece, and Egypt, they have also been found. In ancient Egypt, they were called Meridas. White back hair. It was also considered a sacred symbol by the Egyptians. 55 BC, Maltese dogs were introduced to England with the Roman army. Afterwards, it was even more loved by the British aristocracy. Before the Middle Ages, they've always been around the European aristocracy, a significant other dog. The civilizations of ancient Europe originated from the sea. Portugal, Spain, Italy, Netherlands, United Kingdom. For hundreds of years, one powerful country after another has stepped onto the stage of history. Their fleet galloped the sea. The white puppies by their side also changed sea voyages with them. These little dogs that follow the ships around, due to its popularity, often traded by seafarers. It has even become a bargaining chip for exchange. This also prompts them to spread more widely. Then Spanish sailors introduced reproductive techniques in its overseas territories of Tenerife in the Canary Islands, breeding the dog. These puppies also developed another group here. 14th century. Italian sailors brought them back to the mainland again. Subsequently, became the most popular dog breed among the Italian court nobles. These puppies are developing, also fuses with water hounds, formed a new breed of white curly hair, make it look softer and cuter. So this is the modern Bicken, and the prototype of the Bolognese dog. 16th century French invasion of Italy, and put these white velvet puppies, brought back to France as a trophy. Then he succeeded in capturing the French royal family and the heart of a noble lady. It was further bred and developed in France, due to its resemblance to the French Babette Water Spaniel. Therefore, it was named the Bay Bear Dog, later known as the Bicken Dog. This is the Tenerife Bear. That is, the origin of the Bicken Dog we usually refer to. During the development of these dogs in France, fusion with the French Water Spaniel also formed another multicolored mixed puppy. Due to its appearance, it is often trimmed to the shape of a lion. This is the Lawson dog known as the European lion dog. Europe in the 15th and 17th centuries unleashed a huge change. The person who initiated this change, his name was Marco Polo. It was also a country that caused this change. It's China. Marco Polo, in his travelogue, described China as a country full of gold. After the 13th century, the rise of the Ottoman Turkish Empire blocked the way of communication between the East and the West. A desperate thirst for golden porcelain and spices prompted Europeans to set up the sails, blaze a new path, seeking China from the sea, seeking India, looking for gold and spices. And these fluffy white puppies also set out with the sailors again, facing the sea route. Turbid waves bloom with the wind. Madagascar in Africa, the descendants of these white Bicken dogs here developed the Turiel wool dog. In Cuba, they developed into Havana dogs. They and their descendants, widely distributed along the era of great navigation, seas and islands. It also revived the European dog population after the later cataclysm, provides tinder. 3,000 years ago, the ancestors of Bicken followed the Fijians to Marta Island. They multiply here, also from watching small guard dogs that catch mice in warehouses, became the first pet dog in Europe. also started a 1,000-year career of acting cute. Ancient Europeans believed the Snow White Maltese can soothe people, heal the pain, put them in an uncomfortable place, can relieve symptoms. After being introduced to Europe, they effortlessly captured countless monarchs and emperors, and the love of princes and nobles. Become a pet of the upper class, a symbol of power and status. After reaching the UK, Maltese dogs are more popular. During the time of Henry VIII, he has become a traffic star in the British Isles, the beloved puppy of the court lady and the royal lady. It is said that when Mary I, Queen of Scots, when he was executed in 1587, pet dogs who still insist on staying by their side, Maltese. This also explains that the Maltese dog, a situation widely loved by high societies in ancient Europe. Maltese is gentle and well-behaved, coquettish and hospitable. Snow white silky long hair, lively and lovely personality, especially good at using a pair of innocent big eyes to capture hearts and minds. In 1,000 years of reproduction, it can be said that the trait of acting cute is engraved into the genes. Technically acting cute, a step up from Maltese, it's a Tenerife. That's the Bichon Retriever. After the Bichon was introduced to France, King Henry III fell in love with this dog at first sight. He takes his dog with him wherever he goes. He also tied a beautiful butterfly around his dog's neck. After seeing it, other princes, nobles, and commoners, he also dressed his dog like a king. This makes the Bichon look even more heroic. In Spain, it was also loved by the court nobles and became the master of art Francisco Goya, models in paintings. On a voyage with sailors, the small and cute Bichon dog is also cute all the way. Sailors in the Philippines, Cuba, and Argentina along the way, and the Canary Islands. When saying goodbye to a local lover, the usual situation is the girls were holding their Bichon dogs in tears. These popular Bichon dogs, so they stayed and proliferated along the way. A trick from the Bichon, bye. It can also be said to eat all over the world, tried and tested. Late 18th century. The decline of the European feudal aristocracy. The Bichon also declined to become a civilian dog. Start following the down-and-out owner and street performers sleeping on the streets. They are also being trained at this time. Learn the gesture of goodbye to please passers, bye, act cute, and beg. They not only support themselves with this trick, it feeds its owner. Then the Bichon was founded by the circus. Become a juggling star. This also makes them similar to poodles, being known by the world. How many ways to act cute? How many kinds of Bichon dogs are there? On the road to acting cute, the Bologna and the Lion Laucan take a different approach. It has captured the hearts of many people by relying on its shape. In the courts of Italy, they are often trimmed to look like lions. This formidable form, with their quirky personalities, he was also a popular star in the court at the time. In addition to the soft and cute personality, silky, soft, long hair, it becomes a tool for them to please people. Soft and waxy feeling. It can be said to be a rather handy decompression tool. Marcus has long, silky hair. Bologna has wavy, curly, straight hair. Tenerife bearing with soft and stiff spiral curls, like a snow white doll. Turiel fluffy dog. Body hair is soft and delicate. Therefore, it is also known as the cotton veil dog. Faunts and Havanas in the Bichon family. Only these two dogs are non-white breeds. Although the collapse of feudalism in Europe and the catastrophe of the 20th century almost wiped out these cute white dogs. But they've come from a long history, again and again. It has soothed the soft hearts of generations of masters. When a pair of big innocent eyes stares at you, who could refuse? Poodle. Divided into different categories because of body shape and shape. They vary enormously in body size. However, they are all poodles. In the AKC classification standards, divided into standard poodle, mini poodle, and toy poodle 3 categories. However, in the FCI standards, divided into standard poodles, medium poodles, 4 types of mini poodles and toy poodles. The smallest is the teacup VIP. It is classified as a toy VIP. The largest is the giant VIP, the standard VIP. Why are there so many classifications for poodles? Where do these pooches of all sizes come from? So let's start with the origin of the poodle. The native poodle is the standard poodle. It's a large dog, also known as the Great Regal. There are many theories about its origin. The French believe it originated from the French waterhound. However, the Germans believe that it originated as a waterhound in Germany, former Soviet Italy. It is also claimed that the poodle originated in this country. In some archaeological findings, frescoes in ancient Rome, Greek coins, there have also been portraits similar to poodles. If these dogs, it belongs to the same category as current VIPs. So the history of the poodle, dating back at least 2,000 years. But either way, the origin of the poodle are inextricably linked to a dog. This is the Portuguese Water Spaniel. So where did it originate? Here we go. We follow the historical context and the footsteps of humanity to find dog paw prints in history. The history of the Portuguese Water Spaniel, dating back to 700 BC. It originated in the steppes of Central Asia. Around 400 BC, these dogs, following in the footsteps of the Visigoths out of the Asian steppes. They went all the way west through Eastern Europe to Germany. These dogs later developed into the prototype of the poodle. While the other continues south. After the Goths invaded Spain and Portugal, some of the dogs were taken to the southern coast of Portugal. These dogs later developed into Portuguese water retrievers. There is another argument that these dogs originally followed in the footsteps of the Berbers, from Central Asia along North Africa to Morocco. Around the 8th century AD, the descendants of the Berbers, the Moors, invaded Europe. Then these dogs were introduced to Europe from the Iberian Peninsula. It was populated in Portugal, developed into a Portuguese Water Spaniel, and now the poodle. The name of the poodle comes from German. Original Low German puddle. It means the plop of running in the water. Known as Kenish in French. It means poodle. Originally meant duck hound. The poodle was originally a medium to large water hounds used for hunting in the water. Used in the icy pond swamps of Europe. Retrieve fallen prey. This dog goes hunting. Thick curly hair can protect his body and joints. Protection from the effects of cold water. But it also adds to the resistance. To reduce its thick long hair, resistance in water. People started cutting their tails short, cut off some body hair, preserving long hairs at joints. This unique work style, it has become the basis for today's poodle grooming. In medieval Europe, hunting was a noble activity. The breeding of hunting dogs also requires a special license and pay taxes. Therefore, the poodle as a hound, it was also popular among the nobility. After the 1516th century, poodles became increasingly popular in the French courts. These shapes are exquisite. The graceful big dog often appears in full costume and was once loved by Louis XVI. Therefore, it is called a poodle. Become the national dog of France. This is the standard poodle, that is, the origin of Jugui. And in the 18th century, we got to the 18th century. As European feudalism was broken, European society also entered into a vigorous development. All kinds of new things keep popping up. Modern circuses began to appear. So smart, easy to train poodle began to be favored by circuses. Its striking appearance and various difficult performances. To achieve the peak of its development and popularity, there are many enthusiasts all over the world. After it was introduced to the United States, it was deeply loved by the upper class. But extremes come back. Early 20th century. Due to the fact that poodles are widely loved by upper-class nobles, its various exaggerated and colorful shapes, it also got labeled as a lady. It was influenced by the masculinity of World War I and World War II. The popularity of poodles has also sharply declined. Lady became his byword until the end of World War II, due to the fact that part of it is a giant VIP as a military dog, contributions to the military during the war. The poodle also took off various tags. It's starting to come back into view. In the 1980s, the United States and Canada have started selective breeding training, a hound with the ability of a gunhound, to restore the poodle's hunting ability. This also allows the giant poodle to pick up the fight again, the ability to hunt. Talk about the process of poodles getting smaller. Related to a top ingredient in French cuisine, it's a black truffle. Black truffles are a precious ingredient that is extremely difficult to obtain, buried deep underground. The first French-trained pigs to find truffles, but because of the pigs' rude movements and uncontrolled behavior, so people turned to training dogs to find black truffles. Poodle is one of them, truffle dog. Due to its large size, equally easy to destroy precious truffles. So the poodle was gradually raised to a smaller size, easier to control. These little poodle dogs, it is now the mini VIP. There is a saying that miniaturized VIP modified from a mushroom dog. Looking for mushrooms is looking for mushrooms. It's an event in England. In search of fungi buried deep underground, the dog becomes a helper, and the smaller toy poodle. It was also developed by the English in the 1718th century. To achieve a smaller body size, good sense of smell and digging ability, they compared poodles with more similar dogs. Maltese Cross. A smaller body was born. This is a toy poodle. Toy VIP. It has also gradually become the most popular pet dog. And then the famous teddy dog. It's a kind of toy VIP. The teddy dog is not an independent breed. It's brown and chestnut, a way of grooming a toy poodle. It doesn't shave on its mouth, head trimmed into a circle. This looks like a teddy bear. Therefore, the VIP in this style is called a teddy outfit. Over time, this styled poodle is also known as a teddy. It is also because of this cute shape and name. Let this branch of poodle take the world by storm. Whether AKC or FCI, there are no teacup VIPs in their classification criteria. Teacup VIPs are also not recognized. It is classified under stationary VIP. Its undersized size lead to physical development, Bones, joints, and personalities are prone to defects. It is not officially recognized. The giant poodle is traditionally the standard poodle. But in pursuit of greater body size, bone mass, and gross mass, some standard VIPs are groomed for larger body sizes, and hence the larger poodle. The poodle's hair is a single layer of curly hair, not easy to fall off. Its non-shedding properties. It has also become a significant other dog. He is lively and intelligent. Psychologists at the University of British Columbia, Stanley Collin, 1995. About 200 dogs were investigated by professional referees. Provided a document involving intelligence rankings of 110 breeds. Poodles are ranked in obedience and IQ. Both are champions of small dogs. Second place among all dog breeds. There are two kinds of Corgi, Pembroke Welsh Corgi and the Cardigan Welsh Corgi. Although they are both called Corgi, but they are two relatively independent dog breeds. But they also have one thing in common: short legs. Although the Corgi was born in Wales, but look back at its history. Their ancestors followed in the footsteps of human civilization from Europe. In ancient European history, Celtic, it is a shared language and cultural tradition. Condensed loose group. They originated from the Seine in France, Upper Rhine region of the Danube in Germany. In a long historical period, they used to run amok in Europe and occupy the British Isles, conquered by the Romans. It also formed many kingdoms and tribes. This includes Wales, and followed the Celts from Europe, a dog that shares a common ancestor with the German Dachshund, the very first Corgi. Ancestors of the Cardigan Welsh Corgi. The Celtic economy, mainly agriculture and animal husbandry, in Cardigan, Wales, near a village called Brownant. It has big hills. It is also the pasture of the Welsh people who live here, although the surrounding herders. Equal rights to grazing on public lands, but herders, or habitually circled their respective territories. So the Corgis responsible for driving away the invaders became a necessity for herders. Own an excellent Corgi. It's like owning a pasture. So the Corgi became an important asset. They were bred for protection. This original Corgi, also known as Browning Corgi, after 1875, with the reform of the British land system, abolished the factory landing system. The movement of establishing land enclosures for private farms has developed rapidly. Large tracts of land near Brownham. It was sold to farmers. The appearance of wire fences makes Corgis almost disappear. Corgi's job is to herd cattle. Unlike most shepherds, the Corgi don't drive the cattle home. Instead, drive the invading herd farther away. The advent of the fence privatized the land. Different pastures are separated. The Corgi have lost their usefulness. Instead of, it's a sheepdog that can drive a herd home. So the Australian cattle dog. The zebra cattle dog is also gradually replacing the Corgi. The striped cattle dog shares the same personality as the Corgi, relatively friendly. But it was not widely adopted, only used in southern Carlington. However, due to its unstable operating characteristics, also lacks the energy to graze. So people moved back to cattle dogs and Corgis. These hybrids, and a few of the original Corgis were left behind, became the Cardigan of today, the ancestors of the Welsh Corgi. In 1929, after the death of the last pure-blooded Browning Corgi, the original Brownian Corgi has disappeared. Later Cardigan Welsh Corgi, all are mixed races. Pembroke Welsh Corgi, although similar in appearance to the Cardigan Welsh Corgi, but they were born in different regions. Two dogs breeds that developed relatively independently. Medieval England was famous for its wool production. particularly in Wales, after the Norman conquest. Rapid urbanization in the UK. During the 11th century, several textile centers were formed. However, due to the limitations of the degree of development of the handicraft industry, most of the wool still exported to the Flanders region of mainland Europe. Due to Flanders and Italian textiles monopoly of the British market, Britain began to bring in quality artisans to raise the level of the country's handicraft industry. So a large number of Flemish weavers started entering England and Wales. Certainly, they also brought in the video rights from Europe. While these weavers worked long hours, also constantly reclaiming the emperor, their dog, also interbred with the original Brownian Corgi, formed today's Pembroke Welsh Corgi, and used it for grazing in the Pembroke area. Wales before the 19th century, Cardigan and Pembroke. Because of the mountains, it's hard to get around. These two breeds of Corgi have long been developed independently, also formed to varieties with different bloodlines. But by the end of the 19th century, with the development of transportation, the two places are also beginning to intertwine. So there are two types of Corgis. At this stage, there was a chaotic interbreeding. There are also herders and breeders. They worked hard to keep their bloodline pure. 1925, Pembroke Welsh Corgi Club established. 1 year later, in 1926, the Cardigan Welsh Corgi Club was established. Although the two Corgis are separate breeds, but at first, the Kennel Club did not recognize the two breeds. Also allows hybridization of two Corgis. Until 1934, the Kennel Association just registered the two Corgis separately. After Pembroke Welsh Corgi, chosen as a royal pet by the British royal family, it has also brought great fame to this breed. The following questions about Corgi. There are several theories about the origin of the name Corgi. One theory holds that the word Corgi comes from the Celtic cancho. It means wolf or dog. The second theory is that it originated from the Welsh word corgi. Color. It means short. She means dog. And as language changes, she became bee, hence the name corgi. The third theory holds that the name corgi is given by cur dog or cur, derived from. Cur refers to a type of working dog. In a Welsh law codified in 920 AD, the records recognize three different watching dogs and significant other dogs. In 16th century documents, you can also find the word cocky, used to refer to a dog of the breed corgi. Pembroke Welsh Corgis are usually two-tone. According to the depth, it is divided into red and white, yellow and white, brown and white, black and white, and engraved colors. The dominant color of the Cardigan Welsh Corgi is black meteorite color, tabby tricolor, and engraving. Also Cardigan Welsh Corgi. Any color can appear, with or without white, and Cardigan will also appear red. There will be red and white or tricolor like Pembroke. But the vast majority of the dominant colors are black. In addition, Pembroke has longer hair, Cardigan has shorter hair, and the hair is hard. Cardigan has more bone mass, longer body. Its body ratio is 1.8 to 1. More lowly. You look fatter. Bloomberg Rock in front of Cardigan. The body shape will appear shorter and thicker. In addition, due to the fact that Bloomberg Rock has fox dog bloodlines, the face is more delicate, and Cardigan looks even more simple and honest. Bloomberg Rock needs tail docking. Cardigan doesn't need eggs. That is, it is usually said that the one with the tail is the Cardigan. The one without the tail is the fluffy rock. Why did Pembroke have his tail docked? There are mainly the following for claims. The first theory is climate. Pembroke for the rainy mountains. The working environment of Corgis is relatively muddy. If the tail is too long, it will be covered with a lot of silt. It is easy to breed germs and cause unfinished tails. The cardigan region is relatively dry. You don't have to worry about that. The second argument is the problem of cattle ranching. Pembroke was herding cattle. A tail that is too long can be easily stepped on by a cow and cause damage. Kerrigan's movements are relatively dexterous. Don't worry about being stepped on, but it's not very convincing because from bone mass to body structure, Kerrigan on motor flexibility, no better than Pembroke. The third theory is that the early pastoralists, in order to maintain the purity of the bloodline of the two dog breeds, it is easier to distinguish between the two types of dogs. Choose to make the bones thicker. The larger cardigan never ends. And for the more compact Pembroke, progressive ranking. Therefore, two dog breeds were formed. Intuitive differences in appearance established the original canine breeding standard style, so you can tell them apart at a glance. The fourth theory is similar to the third, today's dog race. Due to the tendency of different aesthetic standards, it is also easier to distinguish between dog breeds, so as to tail Pembroke. This statement, just a matter of the early and present timelines. And the third kind of distinction applies to pastures. The fourth distinction applies to today's game. Combine the above for statements. The third and fourth types seems more in line with the reasons for the modern Pembroke docking, the oldest dog breed in Japan. It was originally a small hunting dog. Japan is a mountainous island country, the main role of the Shiba Inu, also in the dangerous mountain forest, and in the low bushes, hounds that hunt birds and rabbits. Shiba Inu is mainly divided into the following categories according to breeding. Shinshu Shiba Inu. In his early years, he was active in the mountains around Nagano Prefecture and Gunma. It is a hunting dog specially adapted to cold and highland climates. The modern Shiba Inu is basically the same size as the Shinshu Shiba Inu. One of the sayings about the name Shiba Inu, Shiba Inu's firewood character. It is the word Chai village from the Shinshu area. Sanyan Shiba Inu comes from Totori and Shimain prefectures, known in Japanese folk as Taido. Its tail is upturned in the shape of a saber. Can't curl. Small and raised ears are its greatest feature. Its ancestors are said to have preserved the Yayoi era, Aboriginal people who migrated south from the Korean peninsula. Characteristics of the Yayoi canine. Minong Shiba Inu comes from Kaifu County. It's known in Japanese folk as Fiki. Its red hair. It is the most distinguishing feature of other Shiba Inu. As one of the most powerful hunting dogs breeds in ancient times. Very good physical performance. But the number of Minos has declined dramatically in modern times, is on the verge of extinction. Shiba Inu Kawakami. It was originally spread from Nagano Prefecture to the Kawakami area. It retains more primitive blood. Its personality. The most active and curious baby in the entire Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu. This breed of Shiba Inu, it is to restore the extinct ancestors of the Japanese dog. A dog breed improved from the Shenwen dog. It is characterized by a long face, legs, a long tail, and curls. The name Shiba Inu. It is taken by the Japanese dog. Black Shiba Inu's black is not pure black. Instead, it has a small amount of dark color called iron. From the surface, it looks black and shiny. It is characterized by brown above the eyes, also known as the four eyes. Its yellowish-brown hair is above the eyes. Distribution of cheeks, limbs, etc. Blackwood is the second most popular coating color after redwood. The main color of the Shiba Inu, because its coating color is similar to that of dry grass. That's why it's called Shiba Inu. Some dogs will have other variegated colors, but more than 80% of Shiba Inu, it's all this coat color with no shade change. Flax color refers to red, a coating color formed by mixing white and black. In the flax-colored Shiba Inu hair, contains the full coat color of the Shiba Inu. It is the coating color formed by the balanced distribution of its colors. This coat color is rare, only about 2.5% of Shiba Inu, compared to other fur colors. The fur of this color is long and has strong, stiff bristles, so most flax-colored Shiba dogs have good fur. The most red is called black flax. The mostly white ones are called silver fox horses, but very rare. The white Shiba Inu is due to a lack of melanin, the fading phenomenon that occurs. There are very few pure white coats, mostly in the ears and back. There will be lighter orange-yellow hair. Due to the fact that the Japanese like white hair, the amount of firewood has also been increasing in recent years. In the certification of JKC and the Japanese Breeding Preservation Association, there is no pedigree such as the fighting dog and the small Shiba dog. The standard height of the Shiba Inu was customized in September 1934. Duchai is a Western dog breeder and marketable pet traders. After miniaturized culture for Shiba Inu, the resulting small Shiba Inu. These dogs are obsessed with miniaturization. There are certain deformities in its physical development, and there are certain flaws in character. These dogs are also not officially recognized in Japan. First, the Shiba Inu itself belongs to the Spencer breed known as the foxhound. This is a relatively primitive dog breed. It retains the sensitivity of its ancestor, the wolf, a suspicious personality. That's what we call it. Some nerves and bad temper. Its ability to resist compression and interference is relatively weak. This also makes it difficult to train innate factors. Secondly, the Shiba Inu was originally a hunting dog, and it is a packhound that mainly hunts in groups. These dogs have been around for hundreds of thousands of years, and even longer hunting lives, cultivated a more independent personality to cope with hunting scenes in complex mountain woodlands. And its chasing instinct is also deeply engraved in its genes. Long-term social warfare makes it unfriendly to its own kind. This is also the reason why most Shiba Inu let go and don't like to fight. Again, it also put him on the blacklist of many dog trainers. However, due to its small size, Shiba Inu has a quiet personality. They are very easy to feed, odorless characteristics, and the emoji features that cuties people's hearts or captured the pity of many shit-shoveling officers until it became one of the most beloved dog breeds.